everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Performance on Wheels. We recently purchased a 2015 Jaguar F-Type R. That means that it is the rear-wheel drive 550 horsepower supercharged V8 model.
Amazing sound. Had the car a handful of months now, put a few thousand miles on the car. I feel like I know this car pretty darn well. I've been to the shop with it. I've won some races in it. I've lost some races in it.
Really?
Maybe. We won't talk about those, however. We actually have some cool footage later on in the video, so stay tuned for that little treat.
It is with the 2020 Porsche 911 Carrera 4S, so you're going to want to check that out.
Absolutely. So guys, today in the video, we're going to go through 6 reasons why you should buy an F-Type and 6 reasons why you shouldn't. However you want to say it, 6 reasons we like the car, 6 reasons we don't like the car. Let's get started with what we think. This is how we're going to do the video. I am going to start with a dislike, followed by Austin saying a dislike, and we can't repeat each other's dislike or like. So we're going to get 3 of each, a total of 6 likes versus dislikes. I will start off my dislikes, or my first negative comment, with this right here. Listen. Did you hear it? It's just the chassis or the suspension, like up in the roof. Take a peek back here where we have this support pillar going up into the roof. If I take a turn just right, or if I'm driving down the road, hit a bump just right, I hear the flexing, I hear the clunk back there. It's kind of funny, when we were at the dealership, I was talking to the shop foreman that's been working on the brand for, I think he said around 15 years. And I asked him, are you seeing a lot of common issues? Are you seeing a lot of repeat repairs on the F-Type? He said no, there's nothing specific that stands out. However, are you getting noises in your chassis? Are you hearing creaks and clunks and whatnot? And I was like, yeah, actually I am. So that is supposedly pretty common for the F-Type with that solid, stiff setup that the car has.
Todd did his dislike, so we're going to head straight into my first dislike. That would be the quality of the body panels. Check this out. These gaps do not line up necessarily every time you close it. Maybe one time it'll line up, next time it won't, along this entire thing. Not only that, but I mean, come on. You can push this stuff in. This is all aluminum here, but the bumper is the worst, the back bumper that is. This is all plastic back here, and I mean, it's like Corvette GM quality back here. I mean, it's a beautiful design, but I mean, come on, guys.
Now I will tell you my first like, my first thumbs up, the thing I really enjoy about the car. It's kind of sort of exhaust related. Shocker, right? Let's set it up together here. So I go over into sport shifting. That in itself just enhances the shift points of the transmission. If I click the paddles here, that then activates like manual mode in the car. I'm going to show you what I like here on the other side of the roundabout. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it about half, maybe 3/4 throttle. I'm not going to get too aggressive. And it's the shift points in the exhaust note at the same time. Check it out. It's usually first to second and second to third. I really get it.
All right, you got to check out these tinted taillights. Make sure you hit subscribe because we have a video coming soon about these logos and those tinted taillights. Now let's move on to my first like. All right, I'm just going to say it straight out. My first like is the body. Because wow, it is truly jaw-dropping, the design this car has. I love the look this car has. One of my favorite parts is the over-top view with this white on black combo. Personally, the reason I like the white the most is because of this teardrop that the black panoramic roof makes, along with this back glass. It looks so cool from an over-top view. Come on to the back end of the car, my personal favorite by far. So like I said, we have that teardrop look that kind of originated from the Corvette. going into this, and then that means that we have these massive over fenders, which just makes it look so aggressive in the rear. There's no denying the beauty is at the front as well, but I do personally like the back a lot more.
For my second dislike, guys, it's kind of a love-hate relationship here, because I really do enjoy the sound system in the Jaguar F-Type. The 770 watt subwoofer, like 12 speakers, guys. It's absolutely amazing. Here's the issue. There's so many flaws with the speakers, the grills and rattles. I'm only able to experience kind of half of the performance this sound system is able to put out. So let me just show you for an example. This is where I have my settings, where I have my subwoofer, my bass, and my treble. And that's where I feel I have to be. Pretty much half throttle on all the settings. The reason is if I go any higher on that bass, or if I go any higher on that sub, I'm going to start hearing the rattling. But this is a cool system. It's got these different features you can go between, the Meridian, the Dolby, the DTS, and it dramatically changes the sound and the experience you get while driving it. Now take a peek at this. I'm not 100% sure if I'm right in this, but one of the issues is the grills start to rattle when you have that bass turned up. And it was actually a bullet tin for the F-Type for a long period of time. They had a couple different resolves for that. One of it was putting a new grill and all that on. There is also a bulletin about putting some styrofoam or different foam behind the speakers. Now, I don't know if I'm right here, but I almost feel like the seat and the pressure it puts on the grill, because you can put a lot of pressure back here, might be the reason why these grills start to fail and start to rattle, which is crazy, because if you start looking back at the history on when they were developing the F-Type, the amount of time, energy, people that were involved in the R&D of the sound system, it's quite remarkable. So it's almost like they missed something. They were so focused on the quality of the sound that they missed something like the back of the seat causing an issue.
All right, this can be a little bit upsetting. It actually was pretty upsetting to me. Of course, the Jaguar doesn't feature Brembo brakes. It does when you get those carbon ceramics, but these brakes are not the Brembos. And I was actually really upset that it doesn't have like a really cool caliber cover like most Brembos do. As you can see, like the pads are almost fully exposed under these. It's the same in the rear. And it just doesn't look super cool. It does say Jaguar printed on here. We put a little R sticker to make it look more aggressive. But I really wish the brakes, the calipers, had more of an aggressive look. Anything bad about the functionality, this thing stops so fast that it'll hurt your head, and there's no denying that. But the carbon ceramics, oh my gosh, are those beautiful. In that yellow, whew. They're what, like 11 grand to repair?
The second reason I like the F-Type R is, well, the performance. Check out what I mean right now.
Dead stop, 2020 911. Let's see if this thing.
Brake lights.
Those brake lights are so cool.
They're so cool.
It's a really cool looking car.
It is. I have rear wheel drive. He has all wheel drive.
We're pulling.
Oh, does he want to take it back?
We're pulling.
We were pulling.
All right, we at least got to give him benefit of the doubt, though. He didn't use launch control. If he did, we would have been toast.
He was all after it, though. He was taking off.
He was taking off, but I have a feeling if he used launch control, he would have.
Right at the beginning, it was pretty close. Now, I'm on cold tires, rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
By the time I was at the end of first gear, into second gear, I had to hit my brakes, otherwise I would have ran into him.
So that is the 2020 911 Carrera 4S, starting at $120,000 with 443 horsepower, weighing in at 3,487 pounds. What do you think of those numbers?
I think I'm faster.
So the Carrera 4S has a 3.4 second 0 to 60, so technically we are a little bit faster, even off the line for rear-wheel drive.
Depends on the driver.
It does depend on the driver. Here we go again. Come on, Dad. new 911 just trying to enjoy the day.
He's probably on the phone with the Jaguar dealership right now asking what he can get on a trade-in. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There's no doubt about it, though. That thing looks pretty awesome.
It's a sweet car, yeah.
That's a really cool car.
Nothing bad to say about that car at all.
Me either.
I even like the color.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, kind of enough said. That tells you what this car is competing with. Not the brand new Carrera 4S, but the turbo.
All right, I got another like for you guys, and this is kind of a big one to me because my dad and I really enjoy taking road trips together. I love hitting the road for long periods of time. The hot rod power tour is something we love doing together, and the cargo space in the F-Type is kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie. So of course the entry space isn't all that great, but it tucks under those massive fenders, and there's a fair amount of room in here for a two-seater car. I mean, it's no Corvette with golf clubs everywhere by any means.
The final thing that I really like about the F-Type is the personality that the car has. I can hop in this car with my wife, drive a handful of hours, be comfortable, wrapped in luxury, set the cruise at 55, 60 miles an hour, and get 24, 25 miles to the gallon, and it's just a truly great grand touring car. I can kick her out, hit a couple buttons, pull a couple paddles, throw the lever over into sport mode, and the personality of the car just absolutely changes. It turns into this just raw performance, angry muscle car, exotic car, just a great performing car that just puts a smile on your face.
I'm honestly having a really hard time coming up with a final negative, so I'm kind of gonna turn this into a positive and a negative at the same time. The interior. I love the interior of the F-Type. It is fantastically designed. I think everything feels high quality, leather everywhere, there's awesome stitching. But at the same time, even though it is pretty high quality, there's this weird material throughout the whole interior. There's some of it right here. There's some of this buttons right here, right in here. It's on the steering wheel. And it's just like a weird sticky rubber. So if you try to clean it, usually whatever you're trying to clean it with sticks to the rubber. It just makes it kind of awkward and weird, but there's no doubt about it. The interior is absolutely fantastic. So that's how I'm going to end those up. Let's get to my last like. So I hope you enjoyed those clips of the F-Type and that Porsche. As you can see why my dad loves the performance of the F-Type so much. The thing is an absolute rocket, and I cannot make an F-Type video without mentioning, of course, my favorite thing. That would be the exhaust sound. Check it out.
And I will downshift to fourth, third. I'm at 4,000 RPMs, it's too high. One of my dislikes on the car, we're going to try to capture the lighting. We have this balance of too dark and not enough light to show you, or too much light to show you what we're doing. The ambient lighting, I really, back in like 2016, 2017, I really started to enjoy cars and the way they illuminate at night. Really love Mercedes. I think they more or less knock it out of the park when we're talking about ambient lighting and just the ambiance that they create at nighttime. I was a little let down with the F-Type when the lights go down at night and the lights turn on in the cabin. The ambient lighting, it's only in 3 different spots. It's over on the door, it's in the middle here, and it's on the passenger door, obviously. You can change between some different colors, which is kind of nice, but ultimately it's a pretty big letdown. I would have liked to see it in the footwells. I would have liked to see something even behind me, you know, put something in this little cubby hole back here. They could have just created a little bit better experience with some more lighting. So that's one of my negatives.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on today's journey of checking out what we enjoy and don't like about our F-Type R.
What do you guys think of our opinions on our likes and don't like? Comment down below. Curious what you think. Why are you watching this video? Are you buying an F-Type? Do you just love the car? Do you love cars? Comment down below why you're watching this video. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Also comment down below what videos you want to see in the future with the F-Type. Be sure to check out our recently purchased Fiat 500 Abarth, the Camry that we built, and our Mercedes. Have a nice day, everybody. Subscribe.